Good evening, everybody. And tonight I've remembered to turn on the microphone. I'm a big boy now. I hope everybody's had a nice day. I unfortunately fell into the trap today of thinking today was Friday. And it most certainly is not Friday. So, that was a fun realization to come to this morning. But, I suppose there could be worse things. We're back on the Witch Elf tonight. We are currently at 19% through level 39, so we are hopefully going to hit the magic level 40 tomorrow. I don't think we're going to get it tonight. Not unless fun happens, but we'll see how it goes. It looks like Order have been having fun today because we are in tier 2 at the minute across the board. So that's always fun. We seem to have at least some Destro out running around. There's a Witch Hunter. There's a whole heap of Witch Hunters. And I have fallen into the usual trap of trying to help someone when I probably shouldn't have. At least kill him, guys, so I can get some helpful renown. No? Hooray! How much did I get for that? Ah, not bad. Not bad at all. Will I get a pity res? I did. Thank you. That kinda makes it worthwhile. Also, it would have probably helped if I had buffed myself. Remembered to turn the mic on. Forgot to buff myself. Now you know all you need to know. I can only remember one thing at a time. Oh, I'm not jumping into that. That's a good way to get yourself killed. There is a lot of people here. And their keep is leveling up an awful lot quicker than ours is. Which makes me think we are in for a rough night. A rough old night. Could get dicey. It was interesting actually last night. We did a fort as Destro side. So usually what'll happen is like I'll play an alt or something like that for about half an hour or so before I go to bed. And last night I logged in as we were doing a keep siege, and then we went and did a fort. And I did it with my zealot, and my zealot has been inactive for so long. They've got rested XP for days. Like if the zealot could farm PQs on its own, wow, you'd probably be about level 40 by now. But yeah. But he's now level 33, 40 as his character level in Renown rank. He has all of his Annihilator gear sitting waiting for level 35. And he has more war crests than you can shake a stick at. It is really, really weird how he has progressed. It's bizarre. Which I suppose comes down to the fact that healers kind of do quite well from sort of sitting outside the warbands and stuff when they're soloing, because healing in RVR, even if it's someone falling off like a keep or like just generally jumping off a cliff, if they're flagged for RVR and you're healing them, you're getting renown and XP every single time. Like, it's mental. Ah! Wrong button. And now I'm dead. This is the other thing that's going to cost this character in her pursuit to get to 40. Me playing her badly. Because that could have been a nice little kill that I just kind of stuffed up. I don't even know what that's for. Skylar goes... Okay. Did I... That wasn't there when I got here, right? Was it? That's something I'd done before? Maybe it was for scouting. Maybe I've just never finished it. I wonder where the tainted earth could be. Now, this is going to be the annoying thing, because I'm going to de-stealth here, and as soon as I do it, someone's going to come down that hill. Or not. I didn't even read what that was asking me to do. Something about kill someone, and then open something. Did it give me a quest item? I have no idea. I should pay more attention. This is the other problem I have. It is very difficult to predict when destruction are going to push and when they're going to fall back. Because it felt there like they were getting ready to push, and then as soon as I looked back, they were all running away. Every time with the knockdown. Literally every single time. Oh well. At least the healer's making a decent wage out of it. Right, let's see. I didn't get anything for that. The shame, as the doors would say. I always find it really weird that this BO and this keeper are so close together. It's like, is it Moore's Repose in Reichland? No, Southern Garrison. Southern Garrison, I think it's called. It's like one of those where it's like, it's so close, it almost seems unfair. Because if you have that keep, especially in the current system, you can basically just walk boxes back and forth to it as easy as anything. It's just so weird to have them so close. Now, I suppose back when Mythic was designing this game, boxes weren't a thing, so having a battlefield objective right next door to a keep wasn't really anything to worry about. It's only really a modern thing, so it can be forgiven for that. It was quite interesting because I was sitting thinking to myself the other day how you could introduce a third faction into this game, because obviously the RVR lakes are so two-dimensional. Like everything's, you know, one keep piece, one main RVR entryway in for each side. And the thought occurred to me, like, they almost had a clever idea when they did that Skaven update. Because the Skaven are unlike most of the races in Warhammer in the sense that they all, almost exclusively, unless I got my lore wrong, all live underground. So you could have quite happily included them as a third faction, and Skaven are very popular, so they would have thrived on their own as a third faction, as a subterranean race. So they could have had ingresses automatically added in, the way that they added the, are they called Skaven holes or Skaven mounds or something like that, in for them, and just have that lead to like an instance war camp or equivalent. And like, I don't know if you've ever looked at any of the PvE instances of the Skaven that are about. They literally had models and gear types for each of the four quote-unquote archetypes: range DPS, melee DPS, healer, and tank. So it's kind of, it's just so weird that they didn't go for it whenever there was such a clamor by everybody for third faction. But just, it was a weird one. There's apparently a chest or something I was supposed to find here. It's probably over where those guys are. It'll be somewhere really obvious. I don't know. I'll come back and do it sometime when there's not 500 order all skulking about. Speaking of which, my stealth is about to wear off. Luckily, there are allies nearby. It's really bugging me that scenarios are just not popping anymore. Archmages, Bright Wizards, Engineer. I think there's just too many people here. I'm gonna jump over and try Illyrian and Shadowlands.
Want something, do ya?
Shadowlands, I think, is the one to go for. That's why I always hate these like split zones, because one of them is actually onto the RVR lake and the other one usually is nowhere near. And then you get those other ones which is like the split RVR lake where it's you have to literally fly between them to get too many quests. Really? I don't need that. Or that.
Treat your men generously, or destroy them. It is the only way.
Don't think we're going to be capturing a keep.
I have a Here is a generous
No.
offer. I have opportunities for you. Here is your chance to earn my favor.
See, I don't know whether I've been here or not, so I don't know whether I've done the regular Skype quests. I'm going to go out and let them say I have. Right. Order just sitting outside the camp. I don't think he has enough landmines. Can I trigger them from below? I can. Would you look at that? I don't know how he's seen through my stealth, but sure. There we go. Hit long-winded dots. Which is kind of what I was saying on the Magus. Oh god, feels last week maybe? Weekend perhaps? I was saying it one of the days anyway. Like, Pandemonium is a good dot. It's one of those where it does good damage. But the tactic for it, endless Pandemonium. If you're relying on Pandemonium to finish and then potentially refresh itself to kill someone, you're already dead. It doesn't matter. And if it's in like a large scale keeper fort fight, it's not enough to get round all of the healing that's going on. So again, it doesn't really matter. And that's kind of the thing with the Magus and the Engineer, is like, the damage is great as long as the person that you're doing it to doesn't have a healer and you can kite them, which isn't really in the Magus and the Engineer's wheelhouse because their demon or turret requires them to be close to stationary. Like, they get a little bit of wiggle room. Like, you'll have seen me do it on my Magus, where I'm like kiting around the circle of mist or something like that. But it's just, it feels like a class that's kind of held back by its own mechanic, because you can't make them too strong, otherwise melee DPS will have too much problems with them, and that's the case of, well, why would you ever use a melee DPS? You can't make them too mobile, because then what's the point in the other casting options? It's like, what do you do with them? Like, that wee Engie was doing exactly what he should do, which is make a little defensive position, sit there, build up your damage, and then do your best to move around. But you're kind of just, you're at the mercy of other classes' mechanics more than anything, because, like, you've seen it, Witch Elves and Witch Hunters have defensive specs, and they've loads of upfront damage. Melee DPS like Marauders and White Lions, similar. Really strong regen capabilities, plus obscene damage. And there's just so many instances of that where the Magus can't be better, because if they do become better, then, you know, what's the point in the other classes? I need to break these guys' line of sight somehow. Did it. Don't come out of stealth, don't come out of stealth, don't come out of stealth. Haha. I don't know how I managed that. I think it was just the Night of the Blazing Sun stopped hitting me for a brief moment. That Rune Priest was tough, though. I was doing nothing to him. But yeah, that's always been the quandary of the Magus and the Engineer. They can't really be made stronger because it'll devalue what the other classes already do. So I don't really know how you fix them. Alright? And, like, realistically, they're quite good in terms of a warband. But you're never going to take more than one. Or if you are, you're taking more than one because you have a specific plan in mind for them, which is maybe 2 rift bots? Or you can't get other classes? Like, I just don't know what position it is they fulfill. Maybe they are just little defensive bastions, and that's all they'll ever be. In which case, they probably need... I don't know, they probably need something that plays into that. Because the game's very mobile as a game. You know, you're rewarded for moving. Like, if you stand still and fight a melee DPS, you'll lose. Which is why you see people run. That's why you see, like, archmages and chamois kiting people back and forth. But again, the problem then comes in if you make them too strong in that defensive position. It causes more problems than it's worth. Like, imagine how difficult a keeper fort siege would be if a magus or an engineer was even more powerful as just sitting stationary. Like, it could just make them almost unplayable. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Not even playing the magus. But yeah. Witch elves and witch hunters, I would take away their regen and defensiveness. They should be purely offensive glass cannons. Oh, Adestro keeping Ostland's finally got the 1 star. Ancient scroll. Not anymore. This is so annoying that scenarios aren't popping. Because I really need to get renown to 45. Huh. I didn't even realize that was that close. That's going to help me get my last bit of Conqueror gear. I wonder if we'll have any hiding inside. It's always worth a wee check. So, there's no one down there. No one up here. Nobody on tab. No, seemed completely empty. That's a shame. Oh well. Now, this looks like an order line, or some are taking these BOs. Be interesting to see if it's one or more. I'm judging by the speed that it's going, it's not many. So we shall see. Now, if she was a true elf, she'd be able to see who it was already. But alas, that's not how this game works. So it's a witch hunter, and a shadow warrior, and another shadow warrior, and a warrior priest. Too many for me to deal with. Unfortunately. If it was just the warrior priest or one of the shadow warriors, I would try it. He's moved into target mode so he can see something. He's running away. I'm going to have to make a choice here and hide. And come out of stealth. Now, I think they've left. Watch as I walk out into the middle of them. Because I'm coming for their num-nums. Ah! Hello, good sir. Thank you for raiding. I was chasing you around in a scenario the other night, and this little lady. You were making it seem rather easy to get away from my spinning knives of justice. I hope everyone's well. Hope we're all having a nice day. If you're all order players, I think you're all probably having a nice day, because it seems like you've captured everything. But I am striking fear back by claiming this one BO. Thanks, man. Hopefully you had a good time today yourself. Ah, sure. It's all fun and games. I died a lot, so that's fine. Oh, get myself a box. Now it's at this point I run straight into that witch hunter. Or a white lion. Let's leave the box, see if he wants it. Who's this? Hmm. Yeah, they are together. That's unfortunate. Ooh. Hello. This is for stealing my box. In fairness, he's tanking it quite well. Oops. Helps if I pay attention, doesn't it? Come on, stand up. There you go. Seriously? I am squishier than the squishiest thing in Squishville. Or he's just really high level, I don't know which. I've no idea about white lions, whether... Like, is that a high level armor set? I don't know. All high elves look roughly the same. They all look like they've been out at the day spa. They're all in like the wee spa robes. So you're like, are you level 4? Or are you level 504? Difficult to know.
I have a task for you.
Really difficult to know. At least that got us some XP. Oh, and some renown. I think there's going to be some fighting over here. I'll pick those up again because I'm going to be staying here for a bit.
What fools do idly. This is your assignment.
There we go.
Hold there.
Pay the healer tax. Still bugs me that if you're a healer and you die, you have to pay another healer to cure your wounds. Like, surely if you're a healer, you can heal yourself. That's the one thing I've never really fully understood. It's like, why? Why not make it one of the perks of being a healer that you can heal yourself? There's a witch hunter. Now, he was thinking about having a go there. And he obviously didn't, because there were so many Destro all around. He's probably thinking I look like a tasty morsel who's on her own now. Yeah. Come on. Oh, there's two of them. Wonderful. Would he not get a squig to fight him?
I bid you welcome.
I've only recently just made a squig herder alt, so I've no idea if there's a reason why he wouldn't get a squig to fight him, or if that's a special type of squig, or what, but surely you get a squig to keep hitting him. Don't know, seems strange. Alright, they're both still around here. Oh, God. Nothing worse than double witch hunters. Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Slaughter our weakling kin.
So I'm guessing that spiked one he had out is the ranged one. and it flings spikes at people. It's probably why it was just standing there. I'm going to stealth earlier. They're probably still going to see through my stealth, however. Or not, they find themselves a new victim. A chamois, who did about as much to them as I managed. I just don't like burst classes having knockdown. Silence? Sure. Disarm? Sure. Knockdown? Eh. I just don't like knockdown. Ah, okay. I'd always just assumed there was one squig. So, it shows you what I know. I've never played a squig herder before. And I only started leveling one the other day. I think he's like rank 4. And the only reason I did it was because I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights. So I thought, I'm going to create a character that's about archery. And then I named him after the blind servant. Uh, the fun that you can have with Return of Reckoning. I wish I could say that there was an equally amusing reason why I decided to make a witch elf, but I made a witch elf purely for the fact that I wanted a melee DPS to complement my healer, my tank, and my range DPS. And I wasn't hugely fond of Choppa or Marauder as a first choice. And now she's nearly 40. What a time to be alive. Although I really wish I could get a scenario pop. They just don't seem to be popping as frequently. Although weirdly last night when I played my Zealot, he got like 3 scenario pops in the space of, what, 40 minutes? So maybe it's just like the algorithms choosing based on class or level, something. Maybe once you get closer to 40 it slows down because there's less people in that range? I don't know. I think that's that guy who managed to tank 3 of us. So I don't fancy my chances solo. I always wondered what they held behind giant doors. I always liked this music as well. I get the feeling our keep's gonna get hit in this zone at some point. Like, I know it's showing that Destro's got more people there, but when I was there, Destro was not faring well. Well, that was a bad time to mount up. That was a very lucky parry on my part. And that's the thing about a witch elf, especially one at this level. You have to be very selective with what you fight. Because you don't have bolster helping you anymore. And everybody's scary. They're probably just mad that I stole their supplies. So now they can't run them to the keep. I wonder, can I nip over here before they get there? Maybe. It's like a mini game in and of itself. Steal all the supplies from order. Woohoo! All the nom-noms. I'm not going to have long because they're not far behind me. And from memory, they can come over here. Ah, there they are. Now, the last thing that they would suspect is that I would run towards them. Nope, they're not even bothering to check for me. Smart. Smart. No supplies for you, though. Haha. It's the little victories. Where on earth did I get... Oh, it's against all odds. I was going to say, where did I get guard from? Go and scout the keep. I don't think there's going to be anybody AFK inside it. Or at least moping around the perimeter. I'm going to re-queue everything. The only problem with going back to our work camp is I guarantee you those two witch hunters are still going to be sitting circling. There might even be a third. I like to multiply. I really don't know what's going on with these snares at all. It has to just be a level thing. Like, I can't think of any other reason behind it. And it's really annoying because scenarios give you such a good XP and renown boost. It makes the leveling process that little bit more, how can you say, pleasant. I think that's that same guy again. Oh, wrong button. I think I just put a magical one on him. He's a white lion.
If you wish to
Ah, God.
know how to command, I have opportunities for you.
I really should stop being a clicker. Also, I probably should have actually scouted that. No. I didn't actually realize that the guild leader of Brutality was called Brutality. It's kind of on the nose. Every time I seen it when it was in chat where it's like, oh, we're doing a warband message at Brutality, I thought it was something that they had added in where you could message a guild directly and it would go to like the officers or whatever it happened to be. But no, it's just that's what his name is. Ah, okay. So he's all in on the name. I mean, it's smart branding. I'll give him that. I mean, I live by a similar motto. Like, my name's Zell, which starts with an X. And I die a lot, so they always say to put an X in chat if you need a res. So, like, for me, it works wonders. That witch hunter went into stealth around about the same time that I did. So he's getting low. Which makes me think he's not here and he's bugged out. Or not. Or he's there. Hey, I got one. Woohoo! We killed the gankers. I don't think they were the ones who were running over, but we killed the gankers. Go team! I suppose that's the big difference about them getting the jump on you from stealth and you getting the jump on them. Because that felt like I did far more down there than any of the other meetings that we've just had. Although I don't even think my initiative's that high. 352. It's higher than I thought it was. What are my crests? Like 110. The only thing I need left for her Conqueror set is the boots, and I'm fairly sure they're 120. Fairly sure. I think I'm going to go back to Ostland. No, it's not. Is it? Can't be. Are we attacking a keep? No. We're not attacking a keep. Why does it think we're attacking a keep? That's very strange. To Ostland. Ah, okay. That makes sense. I was going to say, I'd find it really weird if we were attacking a keep. Because, well, I say that. It was quite funny when I logged on yesterday. I think it was it on my lunch hour? I think I logged on my lunch hour. And somebody decided to spawn in a Destruction Ram in Reichland and then walk it into an Order Warband. I was like, what are you doing? It's like, you're not going to do a keep siege now. No, in fairness to the guy, I think he did it by accident. He's probably either an old player who doesn't understand how the new rules work or just new to the game, but it was still very funny. Hashtag just sweeping things. I have no idea what that means, but yes. Oh, there's a Rift Magus at play. A little part of me kind of wants Rift to go back to the way it was on live when the game first launched, where it just pulled everybody. Didn't matter who they were, all to one spot, and everybody got stuck because of collision detection. It was pure chaos, and I was there for it. Ah, okay. Sorry. I've only been playing the game for about a month, so... a lot of this stuff just goes over my head. But I used to play on live, so... that's a thing. Let's see if I can help kill this fool. Haha! No. Dead. don't mind, man. I am literally probably the least concerned person with dying in this game. I just find it hilarious. Primarily because I used to play a Magus, so I used to die a lot back in live. Until I got better geared, at least. In which case, it didn't happen nearly as much, but yeah. Always happy to have people join up, but don't feel like you have to go out of your way to do it. Right. Can't we find an orderling in here? I'm going to say lots and lots of witch hunters. Although I can hear fighting. Someone was fighting. I have no idea who or where. But I have got the tasty order supplies. Ah, okay. Cool. Not everybody's coming. Like, what's that? Free renown? We're right there. I shall bow to you. I guess the most noble witch elf has ever been. I keep forgetting that you can mount in here as well. It's the thing that just keeps confusing me about this game, because so much of it has changed from what I can remember. Like, the biggest one for me is the fact that battlefield objectives don't have guards anymore. I still can't get my head around that. Like, I understand the change, but every time I come to a BO, I'm like, oh, it must be... Oh, no, it's because there's no guards anymore. Some free destruction supplies, don't mind if I do. Supplies are always useful for the keep. If I can get into the keep, that is. Look at all these death marks. So inconspicuous, like this giant red light. Huzzah! Right. I'm going to guess... Ah, yes, there they are. I see a straggler. Or not. Oh. Come on. Come on. There you go. Hi, honey. I'm home. No. I should have bugged out when I had the chance. I was killed by Schnitzel. That's exactly what I was thinking as I died. Schnitzel.
Raven's blessings.
Oh. It's all fun and games. Till somebody loses an eye. This is the problem. A pitched battle doesn't really help a witch elf. I overextended just a tad. He got very lucky. That Shadow Warrior feels like a trap. Or not. Wasn't getting heals at all. I thought he was getting heals. Okay. No, I overextended.
Give me glory now, our salvation leader.
This is the problem with having this many people in a zone this size. I don't think either side's going to make a move. Because there's nothing to gain. Like, it's going to take some sort of a massive wipe for one side to start hemorrhaging numbers. And I just can't see it. These guys are about to get cut off and mangled. You're a lunar. Feels like there's like 5 million witch elves and witch hunters all just stealthing around here, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike at people. Ah!
What do you want?
I think my witch brew had already expired as I jumped in. Level 13. Rip the level 13. He's bold, I'll give him that. Bold and foolish. I don't know how I lived as long as there as I did. I think they got confused as to where I had gone. Maybe I should dye my armor white, and then with her alabaster skin, they'll just think, oh, that's a high elf. Because all high elves look alike. Yes, I'm a high elf racist. It's the one weird thing with Order I always struggle with is figuring out the power level of some of the classes, because most of them don't have helmets. And the one way that you can normally tell how high a level something is it'll have a super fancy hat. I literally just stood up. Oh my god, they even killed the troll. You monsters, Order. You monsters.
You again.
Oh god. It's just zergs everywhere. numbers are fairly equal looking at that. I get the sneaky suspicion though that there's more order here than Destro. Like it feels like there's more order here than Destro. Hey, I got one. Still managed to die. Probably should have found something bigger to hide behind. You asked for it. I love some of the names in this game. I really do. Oh. Thank you. Always thanks your healers, folks. They die, so you don't have to. It's like a big meat grinder over here. That's crazy. There's 3 warbands here, apparently. I could well believe it. Can't believe in the middle of all of this mayhem I managed to find order supplies. I'm doing Zinch's work at the minute. Buffing the keep. Well, order have been forced back at least. It's like a death hurricane. It's like gets lifted up and then death. Ghost horse. Scariest thing in the Ostland Woods. Blob on blob. Ah, come on. No. Just not enough time.
Greetings.
Can you believe we still haven't had a scenario pop? Like, how long has it been? Been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes, roughly. I refreshed about 30 minutes in, so... yeah. Mental. This is the thing, though. It's like, I guarantee this is going to pop as soon as the Keep Siege starts. Got him. Oh dear. I think she just saved my life by knocking me back there. Got him. Ha! 666 XP. Only problem with this is there's not a huge amount of it coming in, which is annoying. I'm gonna join these guys to see if I can leech a little bit. Although they seem to be all over here for some reason. Kind of feel like I'm chasing my tail now because they were over this way and now they're back over here. Uh-oh. He was hunted to extinction. Priorities and all that. One witch hunter or the Order Zerg. Oh, the cutlery's out. You can always tell it's busy time in the game because the cutlery comes out. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Ow. Ah, there we go. Thank you again. Oh, I'm too far away. Nearly got back. Nope. I think Oton's just my personal reser now. I'm gonna have to add him to my friends and family plan. I told you it would pop as soon as I got into any sort of meaningful combat. Ow. Oh, look at all the boxes. I get the feeling I'm in a group. Oh no, Oton's my healer. That's why he keeps rezzing me. Ah, makes sense. I thought he was somebody outside the warband. Oh, I'm definitely not getting res now. I'll respawn. So, joining the warband seems to have been giving me more renown and XP. I think that was at 23% earlier, so I'm gonna say 9%. Nope, there's the lag. It really must just be a client thing whenever you've been engaged with a lot of people for a while. It just starts to struggle on the transition between PvP and RVR. Oh, there's a ram? Okay. What makes you think... I always say this, like, what makes you think that we're gonna be able to successfully ram this keep? And then we end up and we go and ram the keep, and I look foolish, but... Like... Well, I suppose we do have more numbers according to this, so... maybe. Also, I made a cup of tea when I started this stream, and I've just remembered I haven't been drinking it. It is now quite cool. Again, paying homage to the fact that I can only remember to do one thing at a time, it seems. still find that hilarious. Where are we in tier 4 RVR? Osland. So we're in tier 2. Oh, we're all over this side. Like, is nobody guarding the other side? Oh, that's a lot of order. I mean, he is wearing the best looking Marauder armor. It's not the Sovereign set. So. He does get to give commands for that reason alone. Like, it kind of feels like we're being lured into something here. I thought I turned all of that off. Don't know what it is. It's a few times now I've noticed it where I've made a change to my filters, and then I'll come back the next day, and none of them have stuck. It's a 3-star keep as well, so like if they get inside, it's going to be really easy for them to defend it. That went really badly. Someone killed you axed for it. Didn't think such a feat was possible. Not with a name that cool. Thank you. Where's the boss man? He's over there. At least renown's gone up a bit quicker. Oh, even more destruction. I can never remember finishing out these influence tiers, and I'm always wondering, what did I get? Oh, the doors are down. Now, bear in mind, this was the thing that I was predicting was going to be really difficult. And so far we've walked in. Oh, it's because they're all upstairs. Is it that hard to guard? It might be. I'm gonna fight his lordship. There's no point in me going up there because I'm just gonna die again. I'm still kind of amazed that we're taking this keep. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought Order was going to put in a better showing than they did. Oh, Mr. Marauder Man's getting very angry that he's not getting a guard. There he goes. Oh, not bad. Not bad. That party's over. Rusted chest. In keep, how many? 5 people or 5 war bands? Oh, you love to see it. Ow. Now. I distinctly remember this thing was like in a really random spot. There it is. this close to it. The only problem with this plan is, to get it, I'm going to have to unstealth, which means I'm going to need to make a quick getaway. Like so. Haha! He did not like me attacking him. Hey, there we go. Lock City. Now we're going to one of my probably most favourite areas. It's up there with Prague. High Pass and Talabecland. I absolutely love High Pass and Talabecland. The only part of High Pass and Talabecland I don't like is that one BO that sits all the way off on its own. It's the only thing I don't like about the entire zone. Oh! I got a purple bag. Go me! I don't think I did anything to contribute, but go me. Okay, lots of fighting in there. All of that must have pushed us up the renown rankings. Yeah, 73. So, I think looking at the way the character level's going and the fact that I haven't been getting scenario pops, I'm going to say I'm going to hit 45 before I hit 40, which is good news because it basically means as soon as I hit 40, I'm going to be able to wear all my Conqueror stuff. And that'll be good because it was good for the Magus to be able to just jump straight into it. So it should be good for the Witch Elf. I think the Conqueror gear's got quite decent set bonuses on it. Yeah, it's not bad. Better in my mind than Annihilator, anyway. Although Annihilator for most classes seems to be pretty subpar. Like Devastator for the Zealot is amazing. That chance at AP game is just amazing as a set bonus. And I think the Zealot gets it back on its Conqueror gear. It's weird that Annihilator seems to be a step back. It's almost like they should switch the set bonuses for Annihilator and Devastator around. Because it kind of feels like it's a step backwards and then you get to Conquer and it's a step forwards again. It's just the one thing that I find so far in the gear progression that just feels weird. Is that it feels like Annihilator probably should be the Devastator set bonuses, and Devastator should be Annihilator. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I just think that the classes need that little bit of an extra kick when it gets to sort of the 35 to 40 range that they would get from the Devastator set bonuses if they were on Annihilator.
The gods have tasked you. Good hunting.
But like, if that's the only complaint that I can make, you know, it shows that the devs are doing like a decent job. Right. What's that? Kill Chagrek. Is that not what I just handed in? Or did I have a different quest just to go and speak to your woman? I have no idea. I wasn't even paying attention. Ah, okay. Invader feels like a step back. That's something to keep in mind. Because I just assumed once you get to conquer, every step thereon was going to be really good again. But that's interesting that it's Annihilator and Invader, which were two of the original sets. I wonder, is that just a carryover of the legacy set bonuses, maybe? Oh, okay. And Vanquisher comes before Invader or after Invader? The whole additional armor sets thing has really thrown me. Because from my perspective, I've just been used to years of Annihilator, Conqueror, Invader, Warlord, Sovereign. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah. This BO here is the only thing I don't like about this entire zone. Is that you've just got this huge amount of wasted space out here that's not used for anything. I have to admit, I looked, I think it was on my Magus the other night, I was having a look at Vanquisher and Oppressor, I think is the name of the other one. That's the same level requirement as it. And they both looked like decent enough sets. Oh, my potions have run out. Slurpy, slurpy. You'd have been proud last night, pair. And again, earlier on, I was on the Zealot, and the Zealot has an absolute ton of rested XP. And I was doing a fort last night, and a keep defense, I think it was earlier. And he's just raking it in. It's crazy the amount of renown and XP he generates. There's like some repairs just nodding approvingly. Maybe these scenarios only pop when they know that you don't want to join them. I really hope one doesn't pop now, because I really want to see what this gatekeep post thing's like. Nope, doesn't work. And now I'm stuck. Solo roaming magus. Clearly likes to live dangerously like Austin Powers. No, it's weird. It's been the last couple of days. And it's mainly been on my witch elf, is that scenarios just don't pop. Like, I went on to my zealot last night when I finished, and he was getting pops left, right, and centre. And it was the same even earlier on when I played at lunchtime. He got like 2 pops, and I was only playing for like 30, 40 minutes. But like the last couple of nights, she's been getting none. And the only difference I can see between them is she's nearly 40 and he's 33 now. So unless there's like a level thing where they're trying to like even out levels or something with the algorithm, I don't know. It's just there's something weird happening. And I've seen a few people saying it as well in like region chat, like, oh, I'm getting no pops and scenarios, and somebody else is going, well, I'm getting loads. So there has to be something, there's something else to whatever's deciding what's going to pop and what's not. And I have no idea what that thing is. Oh, the keeps have opened up. I need to go back this way. Like, the only one I've had all night, and like I've been queued for what's it now, 2 hours, was the one whenever we were going to do the keep defense. Or sorry, the keep attack. Speaking of a dirty stealther, there's one of those dirty witch hunters. And a white lion. And friends. So I am definitely not sticking around. I don't know, would you call me a dirty stealther? I do stealth. I do spend a lot of my time face down in the dirt. If all of that counts as a dirty stealther, then I'm a dirty stealther. Well, you know, it's the witch elf uniform. I haven't. I am literally, well, up until yesterday, I think it was, I was playing like a leveling spec that a fella had recommended in chat one of the nights, which was everything into the middle tree to get Witch Brew, and then basically do Witch Brew as your first frenzy, debuff their toughness, and then do Ruthless Assault. So yesterday I'd been noticing I was having trouble with it dealing with anything other than squishies. So I decided to try out a couple of different things. So I tried the first tree, which I think is called Carnage. And I went all into it for the knockdown frenzy and the parry skill and pierce armor. And I was getting no joy with it whatsoever. No joy at all. So I went back and I sat and looked at it, and I picked out some of the stuff from Carnage, and then I went back up and got Witch Brew and the Stealth and Run Away ability. And it seems to be doing okay. Like, I think I'm paying the price for being nearly 40. In that, if I come up against anything sort of crazy, I'm just going to die. But the little bit of extra parry that I get from the tactic in Carnage seems to do me okay against Witch Hunters and Slayers, because now I'm getting the opportunity to at least hold through that initial the initial burst, as long as it's not a couple of them basically just tearing into me, that is. So in short, no. I haven't figured out what spec I'm doing. I'm doing like a weird mismatch. Because I feel like I really need Black Lotus Blade. Because Black Lotus Blade seems to be the one thing that shuts down a healer enough for me to be able to kill them. It feels like Elixir of Shadows should be like a default ability. And yeah, without the parry tactic, I just feel like any melee DPS has me beat, because I can't get my parry high enough to proc Sever Limb. And it takes me too long to build my morale to use that to do it. I was using the tactic for auto attack, and I dropped it for... Which one was it? I think I dropped it for Swift Blades. And I basically just did it because it seems to be that unless you have a decent parry, you're really going to struggle against primarily Witch Hunters, but more often than not, Slayers. See, I was tempted by the bubble tactic myself, because I was sitting thinking it'd be useful. But then the more and more I looked at like the combat logs, like I was getting hit for so much. It was basically meaning I would be dead a second before I got up rather than 2 seconds before I got up, if that makes sense. But yeah, I agree. Like the auto attack one is really good, especially if you've got a quick main hand weapon, because your kiss procs loads and loads and loads of times. And then with the which one is it? This one, Kiss of Doom. You get that sort of trickle in effect from your heal. Which seems to go on like, I don't know, it's really difficult to describe because I'm convinced it's bugged the same way as some of the Magus tactics where when you get flagged for RVR it doesn't quite work. Because I was using it the other night in, I think it was a PQ. And sometimes it felt like I always had like a pocket healer. And I was just getting loads and loads and loads of heals. And then other times it felt like I wasn't getting anything back from it at all. And then when I would actually reapply the kiss, all of a sudden, yeah, it's healing again. So it was like it had dropped off even though I still had it applied up here. It's really, really strange. And the only thing I can think of is, like on my Magus, there's tactics there that kind of drop on and off depending on if you've gone in and out of an RVR lake and stuff like that. No. But yeah, it's just, it's weird. I get the feeling it's going to be one of those tactics that I'm going to use and then drop and then use and then drop. And what I'm kind of thinking is, like, there's so many different ones. I might at some point drop brute force if I can get my strength high enough. I might just drop it and go for one of the others, because like the witch elf seems spoiled for choice when it comes to tactics. Like there's so many good tactics for a witch elf. It's unreal. Whereas like there's some of the classes I have and it's like, yeah, you just use these 4 and there's no point in using anything else because everything else is trash or too situational. Like the Magus, like most of the tactics I'm just looking at and going, it's good in this one really specific situation, but I'm never really going to use it beyond that. Oh, I should go and get my bag. Right here, right? Yeah. There we go. Tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to fly to the Inevitable City and get her last piece of Conqueror. There we go. Flanking's the really weird one for me because there's a tactic, oh, I forget what it's called. But it's basically if you get hit, I think. Yeah, so that one there. Anytime you take damage, there's a 25% chance that you'll cause 15% more damage for 10 seconds. I'm looking at that and I'm going, would that be better? Because you get hit quite a lot, especially if you're fighting a witch hunter. That's probably going to proc every sort of attack that they do. Now, this is the weird thing. I did this the last time. Yeah, it's only selecting one at a time. But then the other side of it is if you have flanking and that, I'm fairly sure they stack. So that's 25% and then 25% again. So that's a huge amount of damage. And would that then negate the 160 strength? It's one of those ones, like, there's probably a theory crafter out there who's already gone through all of this and can, like, sit there and go, oh, the optimum tactics to take for a witch elf are... but, like, I very rarely ever look at mastery advice posts and things like that, because, truth be told, I'm just not a good enough player to take advantage of min-max specs. I just like nice all-rounders. I call them cozy specs, because they're like a nice warm blanket. Soft and doughy, not too cutthroat. See? Only 75 to 80%. That's an improvement. It used to be 90%. There we go. So that's her full Conqueror set now. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Move that there, move that to there. Oh, 192. I'm gonna have a sneaky peek at what's coming up after Conquer. What's the set bonus in this like? Oh, 15% chance to reduce target's toughness while increasing your weapon skill. That's not bad.
Let us bargain.
I'm gonna hit 50% strength plus skill intelligence. Ah, increasing your initiative. So that's more of a defensive spec thing. 4% damage. I think this one was crit, wasn't it? Oh no, it's 4% damage as well. I like the flat damage boost.
Hello.
Okay. It's a good question. And I think the answer probably lies kind of similar to what I had said before, which is kind of like whatever I kind of feel like at the time. Like, the game for me isn't what it was back when I played it on live. So when I played on live, I was razor focused on the Magus all the way to 80. And then the Blackguard was kind of like a little side project that I used to do where it'd be like I'd be off uni and everybody else in the guild would be at work. So there'd be nothing organized happening and there was no point in trying to do solo stuff because there just wasn't enough going on. So I would level the Blackguard. And now it's kind of a flip in the opposite way situation where realistically the characters themselves are only getting played when I stream. And it's part of the reason why I'm streaming, because if I wasn't streaming and I didn't have a schedule set to come and stream for you guys, I'd probably be sitting downstairs on the sofa watching YouTube videos or films and not leveling anything at all. Which is part of the reason that I do this. It's kind of like encouraging me to do the hobby that I want to do and making me avoid my laziness. If that makes sense. And hopefully it's entertaining for you guys as well. Like, you know, it's very kind of you to all come and watch all the time. But yeah, I'll probably hop between them. So like the Witch Elf, the Blackguard, and the Magus, they're very different to one another, and the Zealot's getting to the point where he's going to get a push to get to 40 at some point, and then I'll have one of each archetype. Which, the benefit of that, and part of the reason that I went for one of each one, is because at any given time, one's going to be more useful than the others. So I would imagine that they're going to go in little spits and spurts. So as one starts to sort of fit into a groove, they'll probably level up and get to, say, their oppressor set. And then I'll be like, well, do you know what? I was browsing the forums and I seen a picture of the Blackguard oppressor set, so now I'm hell bent on getting the Blackguard to that level to get his, and he'll get played for a while, and then there'll be a lot of keep defenses, and I'll be like, well, I'm going to play a healer because there's never any healers about, and oh, now it's just a lot of patchy PvP, so I'm going to play the Witch Elf because it's going to be really easy for her to just sit and hunt people down and do this, that, and the other. So, yeah, like it's just handy to bounce between them. And I think I've said it before, like, if somebody wants to watch me play a specific class, I'll quite happily sit and play a specific class, because I have all of them because I like all of them for one reason or another. Like, I just enjoy the Warhammer lore, and I like... Ooh, what's that? That's nice. I didn't know you could get a knife. I'm gonna start picking up some Genesis crests. But yeah, I just like mixing them up. It gets very samey if you just do this. Like, you guys would probably get bored as well if you were just coming on every night and it was just the Magus floating around. You know, I'm sure you like to see all of the classes die and end up face down in the dirt. But we'll see how it goes. Like, I'm hoping she's going to get to 40 tomorrow. The problem is, if it's anything like the way it's been, like, I'm not getting pops for scenarios, so she'll probably get 45 tomorrow. If she does get 45 tomorrow, you can guarantee I'm just heading for a PQ to get her to 40. And I know PQs are probably not the most interesting thing for you guys to watch, but every now and again they become kind of a necessary thing just to get that next level. And once she gets to 40, she doesn't need to do PQs anymore, so it'll be alright. Thank you very much for that. It's very kind. But we'll see how it goes. But that's us to just after 9 o'clock anyway, so I'm gonna call it there. We got some decent progress. We got our last piece of armor bought. We're nearly through to 45. We've had a load of people watching all night. I think we've still got 14 at the minute. So thank you all very much for sticking around and watching me. I know it's been a bit rough and tumble tonight with all of the zerging. It's not like the most enjoyable class when it's Zerg versus Zerg, but thank you all for sticking with it, and thank you for all the new people chatting. And if you've enjoyed hanging around, please do just click that follow button, because it really helps. But you don't have to by any means. That's not necessary. But I will be back tomorrow, my usual time, 7 o'clock. On Fridays we always go a bit longer because there's not work the next day, so generally spend a little bit longer on. And I might have the Guinness out tomorrow night, or maybe some wine, so no doubt I'll be even worse than I am now and slurring my words every 5 minutes. So that's something to look forward to. But for the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and you have a nice, easy Friday tomorrow. And I'll hopefully see you all again tomorrow night. But until then, good night. See ya. Bye.